Did NVIDIA just unlock the next trillion-dollar computing revolution? Now, this company already dominates AI, and they have made a massive announcement, one that is going to reshape the world processing data as we know it today. I am talking about quantum computing, and NVIDIA has officially stepped into the quantum computing space and the next frontier with something they are calling NVQLink. Now, this is a technology that is going to bridge the gap between the powerful AI GPUs and quantum processors that they're going to have access to. And the crazy part, not a lot of people are talking about this when it comes to NVIDIA and when it comes to quantum computing and the bridge between them two. So in today's video, I want to break down NVIDIA and what they just revealed, why it's going to matter as an investor, and how really this will set up the company for the next several decades when it comes to GPU and quantum computing and the dominance that they see. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Dennis. We're here to talk about investing, innovation, and the financial trends that really do shape the future. If you've been following NVIDIA like I do in AI, it is the only single stock that I own in my portfolio. I mainly focus all on ETFs, but NVIDIA is one that I do buy on a regular basis because I believe it is going to be dominant for the next 10 to 20 years. You already know this is the company with the heartbeat of the tech world. Latest announcement, just another GPU launch. It is a strategic move looking at the world of quantum computing and what is coming next. Something that can make or break it when it comes to supercomputers. So let's get into the details. Now, on November 7th, NVIDIA announced NVQLink. This is a groundbreaking technology that is designed to get the GPUs, the same chips that we use for AI today, directly with quantum computers, often called QPUs. So there is a little bit of different terminology. Why is this huge? When you look at quantum processors, the efficiency and the way they operate is entirely different than we see with traditional chips. Nowadays, it uses qubits instead of bits, meaning they can perform massive calculations simultaneously, solving problems that take classic computers thousands of years. We are talking thousands of years with the processing power. Now, my worry is you hook that up to AI, what is that going to look like growing at an exponential rate? Because here's the catch. Quantum computers are very fragile, they're noisy, they depend on a very high-speed classic system for control and error correction, and this is where NVIDIA comes in with the research and development aspect, because the new NVQLink architecture is an ultra-fast bridge between GPUs and quantum chips, allowing them to share data almost instantaneously. This is going to revamp the entire industry, thinking of it as a very large language translator between the two worlds of computing. This is bringing them together, the classic computing and the quantum computing. And NVIDIA isn't doing this alone. They've partnered with 17 different quantum hardware companies and national labs around the world. So when we start thinking of the QTUM ETF, that is all about quantum computing. That means it's not getting, and you're not betting on one single company. They are working in partnership in tandem with all of these quantum computing companies. They're building the infrastructure layer that everyone in the world will need at some point. This is NVIDIA's quiet but very strategic move into the quantum race without the risk of really a very costly startup or companies that produce no revenue. So let's unpack why this matters. We are looking at technological and financially. When you start looking at quantum computing, it is one of the things that everyone has said 10 years away. We hear that a lot. But when you look at companies, IBM, Google, IonQ, Rigotti, they are all building quantum computer processors right now. It is not 10 years away, guys. It is already today. R&D is working on those. The problem, they can't scale the quantum computing. This is where a mega powerhouse GPU processor like NVIDIA can come in. Quantum machines are error prone and need classical computers to run stability and calibration software. That is already built, and that is where NVIDIA sees the absolute dominance that they're going to possess. Instead of trying to build a quantum computer, they're using the tools that will integrate with the classic computers to the quantum computers. It is a very smart business move, very low risk and super high leverage. Now, they don't need to solve quantum physics themselves. They need every quantum developer to depend on NVIDIA's GPUs to do the work. And that's exactly where the really competitive advantage comes in. If you're producing some of the world's best GPUs, you're really building the backbone of quantum computing on those GPUs. It is the same playbook that NVIDIA used to dominate AI. When AI researchers needed a platform for deep learning, It was NVIDIA's CUDA and GPU systems that are the standard worldwide. They are doing the exact same thing in the exact same playbook that we're seeing for quantum computer. That ensures that as it goes in here, NVIDIA is going to stay an absolute essential company when it comes to running the world with AI and quantum computing. It's like being the Intel inside of every next gen computer, especially when they're light years ahead in AI and they're already getting there with the integration of quantum computing. So let's get a little technical, guys, and kind of break this down. This is where NVIDIA's genius really does shine from this company. The NVQLink system isn't just a faster connection, it's about latency, the speed at which data moves back and forth between quantum computers and classic computers. Quantum error correction requires billions of tiny calculations per second. If the data can't move fast enough, the entire process breaks down. Now, this is where it creates a direct high bandwidth link between NVIDIA's AI optimized GPUs and quantum processors, allowing them to almost merge into one hybrid supercomputer, which is kind of crazy. So the hybrid approach, you're putting quantum computing with classic computing, with AI computing, and this is what is going to drive the real first wave of quantum applications from actual theory into the actual utility that we see with some of these quantum computers. Now, in short, it isn't building just a quantum computer, it is building the nervous system that is going to function for artificial intelligence as a bigger picture. So let's talk about investors. Now, I know we do investing. This is an announcement that isn't just about technology. It is about positioning for the next 5, 10, 15 years. Right now, a majority of the revenue for NVIDIA comes from AI data centers, gaming GPUs, automotive computing, and automotive computing. Quantum computing doesn't add to the very top line yet, but they are looking at the long-term narrative of where they're going to have to run it. NVIDIA has dominated AI chips and continues. When quantum computing matures, who is already embedded in the stack? It is going to be NVIDIA, regardless of where you look. They are effectively becoming the backbone of quantum computing around the earth. So literally everywhere, this diversification protects NVIDIA from the downside. Even if the AI demand kind of levels off or the bubble bursts, they still have the architecture that is building right now for those quantum computing companies. It's a super strategic hedge when it comes to investors, betting billions on quantum computing and the hardware they have and never plan to sell out. They're selling the picks and shovels of the quantum gold rush. That is how NVIDIA has built this empire in the first place when it comes to the largest company in the world. It doesn't mean NVIDIA is going to double overnight. Nope. Is it going to reinforce exactly their holding within now quantum computing, adding that as a layer? Absolutely. AI today, quantum computing tomorrow, the combination of both of those. Now, this is also calling it a very low risk quantum play because NVIDIA is still staying relevant in everything that they do as far as the AI space. This is one step to disruption in the market, and that is where investors can absolutely cash in. So a couple things to keep an eye on as we look at this. The partnership, which quantum computing companies are going to officially adopt the NVQLink. More integrations, the more embedded NVIDIA is going to come in the marketplace. Government contracts, quantum computing is a major focus of US and global research. NVIDIA is going to partner with them. And then, of course, AI with the quantum convergence. As the AI models, they are going to hit limits with classical computing. This is where the quantum computing comes in, and of course, the link that NVIDIA is providing. So let's zoom out a little bit, guys, and look at this bigger picture. Ton of information in there. NVIDIA's move into quantum computing isn't chasing any headlines, which could make it an absolute reason to invest in it now. It will stay indispensable as a company. They're not trying to win the quantum race directly, but they are building the roadmap and the backbone for quantum computing as we know it. For investors, that kind of positioning is what is going to make NVIDIA a next generation company and really continue to grow like they are. We still see a huge world attention on AI chips, which they're doing incredibly well. They are also building through R&D, the research, and really building the future of computing with the quantum connections they're building. So if you found the video helpful, guys, and really the breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as we continue to grow. We do videos every single day on this channel. And of course, investing technology, saving money, building wealth. And until the next time, keep investing in your knowledge because the future is being built right now. And I'll catch you in the next video.